Hello, Meg here, and I am your Monday substitute host here in the Pagan Perspective. So this week's topic asks, what is magic? K in parentheses, so I guess with or without the K. How do you define it? Is it relevant to your path? If so, how do you use it or not use it? So on and so forth. I'm pretty much generalizing the question. The actual question will be in the description box below. So how do I define magic? From what I'm understanding is that magic without the K is sort of just the general idea of magic altogether, whereas magic with the K is more related to the whole casting spells and, calling the corners, so on and so forth. For that, I'm in pretty much in agreement with making the difference between the two. So with the magic with a K, I don't necessarily practice it so much. It's not a very important part of my practice, if you will. And in explaining what is the magic on my path, I think you can understand why it is that I don't necessarily practice a magic, so to speak, if you're following me there. So for me, magic is the energy that we put out into the world, whether it is to obtain something or not. Energy is forever flowing whether we want it to or not, and so to sort of have some sort of control, if you will, or what I like to look at it as is influence over this energy that we're taking in or putting out. For me, that is the magic that we are working. It's that flow of energy. It's the openness to the cosmos and working with the cosmos, aligning yourself to allow that flow. And yes, so whether it's to obtain a means or something material or sort of an outcome of a certain event or situation, I don't fully believe that we can, that we have that power to have that control over something like that. However, I do believe that we can work our magic and that we can heavily influence the things that come our way or the things that we put out into the world. And there is the power, if you want, in spells. We can call spells, in that kind of magic, we can call them spells, or we can call it prayer, however we want to call it. However it is that we choose to get our magic out. And sometimes, yes, I do some sort of chant, prayer, spell kind of thing, if you will, because that helps me get that flow of energy out. It's not because I believe that the words that I'm saying exactly will give me the result that I'm looking for. It's because of what those words mean to me, or what those sounds mean to me, gives me the energy that I am looking for, that I need to put out the message that I would like the cosmos to receive, to in turn perhaps somehow influence what it is that I would like to be or to come or whatnot. So words are very, very powerful, but they only have the power that you give them. If you will, anything that comes at you comes at you neutral. You decide whether you take it positively or negatively. I'm not saying that the person who's throwing them at you isn't given some sort of intention in them. Yes, perhaps they are throwing these words at you with intention to hurt, but it's you who decides whether it hurts you or not. So that's why, they're throwing it out negatively, but it's coming to you neutrally. And with that also applies to what I am releasing into the universe. Now, I'm releasing it from myself with a positive influence, or negative, but mostly positive influence of what I want to put out there. However, the cosmos that receive it, or whatever it is that receives my prayer, my spell, my message, my energy, it goes to them neutrally, and it is that receptor who decides whether or not to receive it positively or negatively, or keep it neutral. If that makes any sense. I hope it does. So for me, the magic is not necessarily having this control over an outcome, or obtaining something material, or even hurting someone or something else, because for me, that's just me personally. I'd rather put my energy into something else rather than hurting someone or something. So for me, that magic is in finding that energy flow and learning how to use it to your best ability to influence the world, if you will, how it is that you're looking to influence it. Keeping in mind that that's not the only thing that's going to work. Part of the magic is actually moving your ass and getting things done. So you can't just sit there and pray and wish that things will happen the way you want them to happen. You actually have to get off your ass and do something to make it happen. The universe is not just going to throw everything at your feet. Eventually you have to do the work to get where you want to be, or to obtain what it is that you would like to obtain. So it's not a free ticket either. You don't only, it's not just the magic is not just a matter of putting out that energy. It's also putting out the physical energy and actually doing the work. It's all about due diligence, as I talk about in quite a few of my videos. So yes, so that's that. I hope that's clear enough. Also, I would like to say that magic is in those little things in life too, as cliche as that sounds. Things are cliche for a reason, my friends. So it really is. When you learn to take the time and sit back and look at the little things that happen, you know, it's that ripple effect. Those tiny ripples eventually grow into these bigger ripples. And so all these little things that happen in our lives, or that we see happen in others, have such a drastic effect of what's to happen further on down the road. And that's magic. The power, the energy in emotion is pure magic. You know, things didn't happen in history because people were like, okay, yeah, that's great. No, things happened in history because people got pissed, or they got sad, or they got frustrated, they got emotional, and they put that emotion out there. Everyone paid attention. Okay, something's going on, so there's that magic. And then what happened next? Did they just keep sending out that energy, that emotion? Yes, but with it, they got off their ass and did something. And that's what changed the world. That's what made all these changes that we see in history and in the world. And even today we see it bit by bit. So we know when something's a brewing, and so that little bubbling magic gets going, but then you have to put that extra into it to really make things happen. You can't just sit back and watch the river flow by. If you want to sail this life, you got to get on the boat and sail that boat. So yeah, the wind will help push your boat, but you still have to steer that boat. You still have to get off your butt and do something. I keep repeating myself, but it's so true. So yeah, so the magic is also in that little oomph, that little something that makes you go for it. And it's amazing what we can accomplish as individuals and as a group, just with that little bit of extra. Okay, now we've got the energy out there, we know what it is we want, we're feeling it, we're ready, we're motivated, now let's do it. And for me, that's pure magic. Also cliche, the love, but again, it falls into the emotion. I mean, the things that we do or don't do in the name of love is pure magic. Sometimes stupidity, sometimes pure, but mostly pure magic. And yeah, so for me, that's what magic is. It's that energy flow that goes through us, through and through. And for me, on my path, working that magic is a matter of opening myself for that flow of energy, understanding how the energy flows through me, accepting that it comes to me neutrally, and that it's me who decides whether to receive it positively or negatively, and whether I react or respond to it positively or negatively, or not at all, or if I stay neutral. So it's that flow of energy, that giving and receiving is that magic as well. And as far as how I practice it is that, yes, sometimes I feel I need to sing it, I need to chant it, I need to paint it, I need to say it, or it's enough to meditate it, to feel it, to dream it. But then following it, I know that I still have to do my part and actually move my butt and get things done behind it in order for it to really fully work. For me, casting a spell is not going to do the whole job, but it can give me the motivation and the security and the comfort to get going and to obtain the means of what it is that that I'm looking to do or get or whatever. So yeah, so that's that. I hope that was clear enough. If not, please don't hesitate to ask me. Sometimes it really sounds clear in my mind, but then I spit it out and I realize maybe it's not so clear for you. So please don't hesitate to ask. I'm really open to anything you have to say. I'm used to people yelling at me too, so go ahead. That's not a problem. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. So thanks for watching. Until next time, I wish you all safe journeys.